Hi there, and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we'll be learning about division, okay? And under division, we'll be learning long division, okay? Now, it's very important that you pay very close attention in this lesson, very, very close attention in this lesson, and solve along, okay? So grab a piece of paper, a pen, and a notebook, and solve along. Okay, so anything you see on the screen, make sure you solve along. And as the lesson progresses, if there's anything at all you don't understand, get across to your tutor. He or she would be more than happy to help. So yeah, let's jump right into the lesson. So long division. Now, in the last lesson, we learned how to identify numbers that are divisible by 2, 3, and 5. Okay, and this time we're actually going to be dividing numbers with 2, 3, and 5, and basically other numbers. And we're going to be doing long division. And let's do some recap. Basically, from our last lesson, we learned that a number is said to be divisible by another smaller number if it can be divided by that number without remainder. So now if you're looking to divide something, for example, if I say divide 6 by 2, you're looking to share 6 into two places, into two equal places, into two equal parts. And basically you'd have 3. If you share 6 into two equal parts, you have 3. Now basically here's another example. You have 18 divided by 3, and 18 divided by 3 is 6. So if you have 18 and you're looking to share 18 into 3 equal parts, you'd have 6, 6, 6. And if you add the three of them together, you have 18. Now, what if you had 19 divided by 3? How would you go about doing this? Now, 19 divided by 3. Now, typically, 19 is not divisible by 3 because you cannot divide 19 by 3 without remainder. And if you do, you apply the same trick we used in the last lesson. If you add 1 and 9 together, you get 10, and 10 is not divisible by 3, and for that reason 19 is not divisible by 3. But if we're looking to divide 19 by 3, we would most definitely end up with a remainder. Okay, and what it is we look for the closest number to 19 that's smaller than 19. Okay, and that number is 18 that can be divided by 3. And what we have is we can divide 19 into 3 equal places, but there would be a remainder of 1. Okay, so if we have 19, let's say we have 19 stones, for example, we can share 19 stones into 3 equal places, and then you have 6, 6, 6. But the thing is, you would have 1 left. So 19 divided by 3 is 6, remainder 1. That's how we write it. So we divide a number. If the number is not divisible by the other number, we divide it regardless, okay, and we write it down with the remainder. So we look for the closest number to that number that we can actually divide by 3 or by whatever you ask to divide by, and we divide that number and we have the remainder. Another example, 7 divided by 2, we cannot divide 7 by 2, or we can divide 6 by 2, okay? And basically if you share 7 into 2 places, what you have is you have 3, 3, and you're left with a spare 1. So what you have is you have 3, remainder 1. The same 22 divided by 4, we cannot divide 22 by 4, but we can divide 20 by 4. And if you divide 20 by 4, you have 5. And what you have is you have 5 remaining 2. Okay, so 5 remainder 2. So if you share 22 into 4 equal parts, you have 5 in each of them, and you have 2 left. Another one, 17 divided by 8. You cannot divide 17 by 8. The closest number to 17 that you can divide by 8 is 16. And 16 divided by 8 is 2. So you have 2, remainder 1. If you share 17 into 8 equal parts, you'd have 2 in each of them, and you'd have a spare 1. Okay, now long division. Now, long division is a simple process for dividing large numbers. Okay, so now if I ask you to divide 6 by 2, you could just quite simply go ahead and tell me 6 divided by 2 is 3. But what if I asked you to divide 84 by 3? Okay, it would be a lot more difficult for you to just come up with the answer right away. And basically, we'll be learning in this lesson how to divide big numbers like this with small, basically how to divide big numbers like this in general. So how do we do this now? Pay very close attention. So we're looking to divide 84 by 3, and we write it out like this. Okay, and 84 divided by 3. Now, when you divide in long division, you write it down 84 inside the bracket, 3 outside the bracket, and then you start dividing. Now, the first thing you do is you divide the first digit, okay? Look, we have 84. We're going to start with 8. So we divide 8 by 3. And dividing 8 by 3, we should end up with 2 remainder 2 because we can't divide 8 by 3, but we can divide 6 by 3. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. And what we have is we have 2 remaining 2. So write down the 2. Okay, 8 divided by 3 is 2. Forget about the remainder for now. Okay, and then you say 2, the 2 that you just got, multiplied by 3. It'll give you 6. And we just do this to get our remainder. Okay, and then we go ahead and subtract, and we have our remainder 2. I'll write it down in this manner. Okay, it's very important that you do this. So here's the step. You take the first digit, you divide, okay, you get your answer. You leave the remainder, okay, don't worry about the remainder. Basically, we'll write the remainder on the bottom. And what you do is you go 2 times 3 will give you 6. And then 8 minus 6 gives you that remainder. You have 2. So because 8 divided by 3 is 2, remainder 2. So you have our first 2 up there and our remainder 2 at the bottom. Okay, so that's the first part. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to bring down your 4. Okay, so you bring down 4, all right, so that you bring it in the second digit now. And now you have 24. Again, we can divide 24 quite easily by 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Okay, and 8 without any remainder. And basically what we go is we go 8 times 3, we have 24. And we subtract again. And well, 24 minus 24, we have 0. Okay, and basically 84 divided by 3 equals 28. Simple. So if you go over the process again, that's it. That's long division. You start off with the first digit. Okay, so you divide the first digit, and then you multiply the results. You multiply whatever you get, you multiply it back by multiply the result, and then you subtract to obtain the remainder. Okay, so we went 8 divided by 3 first. So we divided the first digit, we got 2. And then we multiplied 2 by 3, we got 6. And then we subtracted to get our remainder 2. Okay, and then we introduced the next digit. Okay, the next digit was 4. We introduced 4, and then we divided again. 24 divided by 3 gave us 8, and we multiplied. So we repeated the whole process again. So divide, multiply, subtract, introduce the next digit, and repeat the process. That's what you need to do. So divide the first digit, then multiply the result back, then subtract to get your remainder, introduce the next digit, and then repeat the process. Okay, let's do a few more examples so you get more used to it. And remember, you should be writing. Okay, so it's very important that you're writing this down. And here, let's do another one. So we have divide 79 by 2. Okay, and we have 79 inside the bracket, 2 outside the bracket. I'm going to start off with the first digit. Okay, I'm going to divide 7 by 2. 7 divided by 2 would give us 3, remainder 1. And what we do is we write down 3. Okay, and we say 3 times 2 gives us 6. And when we subtract, we get that our remainder 7 minus 6, 1. Okay, so we have 3, remainder 1. Now we bring in our next digit, 19, 9, we makes it 19. So we have 19 divided by 2. 19 divided by 2 is 9, okay? And then you have 9 times 2 equals 18, okay? And then you subtract and you have 1, okay? You're left with 1. You cannot divide 1 by 2, and there are no more digits to bring down. So we actually end it at this point, and we say 79 divided by 2 equals 39, remainder 1. Simple, straightforward. Okay, let's do another example. Example 2, and we have divide 156 by 5, or no, 155 by 5. And then basically we have 155 inside the bracket, 5 outside the bracket, and we start off with the first digit. So we have 1 divided by 5. Now we cannot divide 1 by 5, so what we do is we introduce the next digit, okay, and it will make it 15. Okay, so we have 15 divided by 5, and that would give us 3. Okay, and then we say 3 times 5 gives us 15, and then we subtract. We have 15 minus 15 equals 0. Okay, and then the next thing we do, we bring in our next digit, and we have 5. We have 5 divided, what we have is 0, 5, which is also 5. So we say 5 divided by 5 gives us 1. Okay, 1 times 5. This is a very, very interesting question because there are no remainders anywhere. So we have 1 times 5, it gives us 5. And then we have 5 minus 5, and we have 0. And basically 155 divided by 5 equals 31 without any remainder. Simple, easy. I think you're getting used to it now. It's looking a lot easier. Now, let's do another example, final example. And we have divide 328 by 3. Okay, and basically we have 328 divided by 3. We start off with our first digit and we say 3 divided by 3 gives us 1. 1 times 3 gives us 3. We're going to subtract. What we have is we have 0. We bring in the next digit, so we have 2. 2 divided by 3. Now it's very important what happens here. 2 divided by 3, we cannot divide 2 by 3. Okay, but we do not bring in our next digit because at this point we have to divide. If you're at the first digit, you can quite easily bring in the next digit, but at this point you cannot bring in the next digit quite simply. What you do here is you say 2 divided by 3 is 0. Okay, 2 divided by 3 is 0 because you really can't divide 2 by 3. So you say 2 divided by 3, you just say 2 divided by 3 is 0. And then you go ahead and you say 0 times 3 gives you 0. Okay, and then you have 2. 2 minus 0 gives you 2. Now you can bring in your next, because basically you must, if you get to this point, you must divide before you bring in the next digit. Okay, and then basically for at this point you say 28 divided by 3 will give us 9. 9 remainder 1, so we have 9 times 3 gives us 27. 28 minus 27 is 1. And what we have is we have 328 divided by 3 equals 109 remainder 1. And that's it. Very simple. Long division. Okay. Now you can go ahead now and answer the questions on the worksheet. Bye for now.